You know that the coal in India is located especially eastern parts, in Chhattisgarh, in Bihar, in Orissa, in West Bengal. It has to be transported all over India for thermal power plants, for steel plants, for cement plants. You know, now around 25 to 26 million tons of coal is transported from eastern India to Tamil Nadu. About 19 million tons is transported to Maharashtra from eastern India. But 14 million tons is transported to the Gujarat. Now all this coal, most of the coal is being transported through railway system. Railways are oversaturated. The cost, now at present the railway is transporting only coal, if you talk about 550 million tons it is transporting. By 2020 it will be transporting 750 million tons. With no much capacity augmentation is taking place in nearby next 4-5 years. The railway is just with stress, already oversaturated, running more than 100%. Apart from that, the cost is quite high. So that's why, in fact, the Minister of Shipping is proposing the coastal shipping, where we will be able to reduce the logistic cost in much better way. At present, you see, when the Indian Railways move about 550 million tons of coal, by coastal shipping only 23 million tons of coal is being transported. In fact, we are using 1% of our water front for transportation and logistics, whereas China uses 24%. So this is where we can really work on it. That's why the Minister of Shipping is now having a program under Sagarmala called Urjamala. Urjamala means entire coal, we will try to target this 23 million tons. We want to take to 150 to 160 million tons by 2025. We can see that for transportation of 1 ton of coal for 1 kilometer, by road it costs about 1.5 to 1.6 rupees. By railways it costs about 1.2 rupees. If you use waterfront by coastal shipping, it is 0.2 rupees. That means the cost of transportation, if you move from rail to coastal shipping, it will come down by 1/6, which is a game changer really. This Urjamala program is envisioned basically to bring back the coal, thereby reducing the logistic costs. And if 150-160 million tons were able to achieve by 2025, it is estimated that the cost of the power will come down to 0.5 paisa per unit, which is a huge. So if you do it like this, by 2025, by coastal shipping of the coal and cement and steel, we will be able to save about 15,000 crores of rupees in logistic costs. Similarly, we have a program of coastal economic zones. So basically in India, most of the industries are located in the hinterland. Whereas if you go to China, most of the industries are located in the coastal belt. When you locate the industries in hinterland, the logistic cost goes up. So traditionally it has been done. Now in the concept of coastal economic zones is basically to drive the entrepreneurs to invest more and more in the coastal zones and take the advantage of logistic costs and get benefited by it. So in the process, the ports will be benefited, the industries will be benefited, and the coastal areas will be able to economically grow. So if, for example, if you can see the steel, normally Indian steel production is about slightly more than 100 million tons. It is a really stress. Out of the 100 million tons, only 15 to 16 million tons is produced in the coastal belts, the rest are within the hinterland. And if once it is located within the hinterland, so mostly the steel plants require imported coal, imported coking coal. Coking coal is not produced in India. So this has to go a longer distances from ports to the hinterland, which is a cost. If they want to export their steel, so they have to again bring back by a longer distance, maybe about 700 to 1,000 kilometers, they have to travel by rail to come to ports and get exported. So that's why this coastal economic zones is basically to drive the entrepreneurs to invest more in the coastal economic zones, thereby they can reduce their logistic costs and get benefited. Similarly, if you see, generally in case of taxation, normally the governments, they mostly focus on this indirect taxes. to bolster the revenue so that they will be able to get the revenues for the welfare activities. So global companies which are involved in the supply chain management must be able to understand the various facets of indirect taxation, especially the free trade zones and the preferential tariff agreements and the tax concessions, the grants and adoption of new taxes like GST. All these things must be kept in mind. In fact, the cost, the finance, the accounting and the taxation all are very interwoven and they are inseparable. Of course, out of these, the accounting is little stable, and of course, the accounting itself, a lot of players or multiple players are there, and different countries will have different costing systems, accounting systems, and there are fluctuations in the foreign exchange rates. All these will influence a lot. A person who is involved in supply chain management must be able to grasp all these issues and able to address them for the benefit of the entrepreneur. We are talking about the GST. The GST, in fact, this is the biggest indirect tax reform which has been taken up by the government of India for economically integrate the country. It is going to have an immense benefit for manufacturing sector and the logistics sector. In the logistics sector, it will help in free flow of goods, interstate free flow of goods, interstate movement, and also it will help in more better utilization of trucks, better efficiency. It will reduce the transit time and transportation costs, which is going to give big boost to the logistics sector. And you can see that in general, the GST generally it will increase the tax complaint. That's what we know. Apart from that, it will reduce the tax burden also in a big way, tax on tax. It will consolidate the plethora of taxes which we are paying at central and state levels. It is expected that the cost, the tax burden is expected to come down by 25%, and that the GDP is expected to grow by 0.9 to 1.7% by GST. If you take the manufacturing sector itself, now the average you are paying about 25% tax burden, which will come down to 18 to 22%, which is quite a remarkable thing. So GST will be a game changer, especially in logistics sector. So I would not like to go very detailed because probably you are waiting for the speech by the Professor Raghuram, who is well known. In fact, I am also waiting to listen to him. And the conference have a very resourceful speakers and very apt topics have been selected, and which will definitely enrich your brains and at the end of the conference. I am very happy that the answers that you are in a very premier institute of management in India at present, and definitely your future is assured the day you are admitted in this college. And I am very happy to address them also. I don't want to give a long lecture because once a speaker like me got excited by seeing youngsters, and sometimes he went on speaking and speaking. And then the audience were waiting patiently, and after some time, and this speaker thought that I went on and without a gap. Then by concluding, he apologistically said that sorry, I forgot to bring my watch, and then I take a little more time. And one lady from the audience got up and told that, sir, it's good that okay, you have forgotten to bring your watch, but at least you should have seen the calendar which is hanging before you. So I don't want any one of you to show me the calendar. So I will take a break here and conclude. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And wish you all very bright future. And wish you all very happy, prosperous, and safe Deepavali. Thank you.